Alright, you know what time it is. It's time for me to have forgotten to plug in my controller. I get my badge on. Okay, we're all set. Hopefully my controller will be recognized, even though I didn't plug it in until just now. Okay, yeah it is. We're good. Oh fuck, no. Go back. Continue, please. No. Now we're not starting a new game over. We're continuing. October 14th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Hey, Nick! What is it this time? You won't believe how many people are here for this trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Next door? Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atmy's trial today. Detective Atmy? They say they're gonna try him as Masked Twinkle Damask. Already? That was fast. Boy, I'd love to see Masked Twinkle Damask's trial. I know. By the way, where's Pearls? Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please, don't ignore me! Our beautiful girl, Ron, has arrived. Oh, Mr. Delight! Good morning! No one likes me. No one would notice me, even if I killed someone. Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec! You don't mean you're the murderer? No, I'm just a poor thief! No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. Now let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heists. Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murder, Nick? It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock. Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always. Well, because if Detective Atmy gets ruled to be Masked Twinkle Damask, then any alibi that Ron had, or anything he might bring up about being Masked Twinkle Damask is out the window. I'm afraid that's not an option. October 14th, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 6. Hi, Godot! I missed the start because I was looking at Steam games. That's fine. We just had our beautiful girl Ron on the screen for a little bit. He was upset. But thank you for the subscription. I had Twitch open and everything. Yeah, for some reason, if you're on my page and the stream starts, it doesn't just take you to the stream. It just keeps you on the homepage. I don't get it. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready? Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. I didn't get to watch the previous trial day because it wasn't on YouTube yet. Oh no! It is uploaded, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna double check right now, just to be sure. It should be uploaded. And it should be public. Oh, I forgot to upload it. I forgot to upload it on Wednesday because I closed the stream early. Right? Is that what I did? No, it should be. It's up there. Yeah, it's up there. My Shadows of Doubt stream actually should be public, though. So I'll just public that after this stream. I haven't looked in 2 days. I can do that for you. No, it's good. We're all set. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. He's got the judge in the palm of his hand. Yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war. Don't tell your girlfriend because I want to surprise her, but guess what I'm wearing? An intricate, Noel Gundam cosplay. That's all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. If there's a Master Grade Noel Gundam, I actually would really like to fucking build her. I would like to have a big Noel to hang out with my big Ariel, simply wearing a simple blue dress. Well, that sounds nice. Ha! Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that's exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes. Well, then let me briefly summarize the details of this case. Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. No MG Nobel? Aw, damn it. His body, well, I mean, if they had a full mechanics Nobel, that would be also work. They would be in the right scale still. And I guess full mechanics Ariel is what I have. There's no Master Grade Ariel, because they hate me. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. I, of course, know that he is on estrogen. That's what makes you a little lost kitten. Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness. I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. But the first one is always the best. Reddit moderator Godot. Mr. Godot, your witness? Okay then, let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, has to say for himself. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? It may be a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify. No, I think the defendant should absolutely testify. I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. Huh. You've got guts, trite. Alright then, Mr. Ron Delight, please take the stand. You did it, didn't you? Yes. What? No. That's not true. For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever. Got past chapter 1000 in EPO. Holy shit. Funny client. I do love Ron. I love Ron a lot. Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty without the face he's making. And once he opens up his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, then why did you go to KB Security? Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home. Yeah, chapter 1000 is a fuckload. I'm like, I think the only ones I can think of are Ippo and One Piece that have gotten that far. I mean, I guess Dragon Ball Z, maybe, might have reached that far, but they split it into a bunch of different mangas. Detective Conan, that does make sense. Oh, hi, Panther Dude. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened. That evening, around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. Extremely short testimony. 1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. You don't want to drink tides. Those are salty. Huh. It's bitter today, too. Just like my destiny. Man, it is coffee. Finished reading TF2 Comic 7. I just read the new one this morning. Goddamn. $17. You'd never know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. 7 years, man. So true. It was good. It was good. I didn't expect it to be what it was, but, you know, I liked it. I was left wishing the same thing I was wishing throughout the entire rest of the comic. 1 a.m., huh? You're absolutely sure about that? Yes. That's what my watch said when I was entering the CEO's office. No. Actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow, and my internal clock was also a bit... What's that? I wish there was more Sniper. Sniper is my favorite, and there's very little of him in the whole comic, basically. 1 a.m. That's the exact time the victim, Mr. Bullard, was murdered, correct? It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure. Only if you're a pussy. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. Slides you a Fanta? Oh, hell yes. Is it grape or orange? It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Orange? Orange is fine. Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters then? Oh, of course. They'd say things like, steal this or take that. Why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say any more. Now, what should I do? I'm gonna press harder. So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. Money, eh? A perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait! I never intended to pay that money anyways! Oh? Is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir. A muddy mudskipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway? The blackmail letter said, if you don't want your identity revealed, correct? Oh, hi, Atsumori! Welcome to the stream! If you don't want your identity revealed, correct? I'm sure it was referring to the whole mask twinkle damask thing. But I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullard didn't have anything on me. He didn't? Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me. Just as long as Desi believes in me. So that's why Miss Delight didn't believe he was masked Twinkle Damask. That's why I knew they were just hollow threats. Then why did you go? You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. A security chief? You? And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? A perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject? I want to know why I was fired. Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well... The world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, then I take it back. Defendant, please answer the question. Well, I needed money. You needed money? Well, you see, Desi loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough. So I stole data from the company. Come again? KV's security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was a security team chief, you stole some data and sold it. Oops. I mean, it's not that much of oops. This has no bearing on the murder. Mr. Bullard found out, and I was fired immediately. What? I wish I had never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it secret and made it seem like I had quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that. He sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from your company. Is that correct? Yes. I'm sorry. This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worst, crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. See? We have extra information. Why would you do something like that? Well, for Desi's hobby. What else? Wasting money, huh? It's not a waste! So, Miss Delight doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she? So it would seem. I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other. You died on the first level of GoldenEye the other day? Estrogen cost money, Phoenix. Thank you! Progesterone even more so, but he hasn't started on that. Can't believe that this case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples. Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright. There wasn't much in to his testimony, was there? Give Desi another few months. If I have my way, she'll have the rest of time to do this. She's not looking to make a D-cup bride. She should be looking for double Ds. Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me. Uh-oh. I've got a bad feeling about this. We'd better be careful. But if we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth. Yeah? Well, let me see if I can... Let's see what the other option is. Oh, okay, so there's no other option. Alright, what do we got? The box. Buzzer went off at the 102. On the table at the crime scene. Where do we need to go there? I wasn't gonna call control or anything. Desi doesn't know about that. 20 bucks, the Delight is Desi's maiden name? Well, I mean, I'm not gonna challenge you on that. Anybody's gonna lose money on that bet. Went to see Mr. Bullard in his office. Blackmail letter in order me to go there. This didn't scare me, wasn't gonna cause me trouble or anything. There's a massive... Okay. I'm afraid that reason isn't gonna hold up anymore. I love the animations for playing with her hair. Yeah. What do you mean? The victim had no proof the defendant was masked Twinkle Damask. But you were the one who stole company secrets only 1 year earlier. His objection is so fucking deep. Well, that's why I've got to give him this sort of voice, you know? But that was all over with once I was fired. But it is true the fact I stole secrets was kept under wraps. Even so, there was no reason for me to pay up now a whole year later. Is that really true? What is it, Nick? The fact that Ron was stealing company data, I wonder if he would have had a problem if that ever became public knowledge. It became public knowledge. I mean, he probably would. Like, he specifically quit to make it look like he didn't do that, so it would be a problem if anybody found out. Is it your computer or mine that's making that noise? It's mine, because my computer keeps, like, futzing with my controller's connection. It's really annoying. Mr. Delight, I believe you would have been in considerable trouble if your identity as a company data thief was made public. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to do by bullying your own client? Men are like colonies of bacteria. The more heat you apply, the faster they grow. That's exactly right. What he said. For sure. Why did he say that? Well then, feel free to keep up the heat, my little lawyer amigo. Little lawyer amigo? Yes, now come on. Provide some evidence to back up your assertion. Why would Mr. Delight want to keep his data stealing secret from going public? All because of Desi. Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared, very scared, of having a certain person find out your secret. A certain person? Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. But I... Listen to me! My Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Godot. Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. Oh. It's like he's just establishing motive. That's fine. We already knew he had a motive. Yum. Water. No, everything's falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that. Or you'll be sorry! Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Clearly, there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. The motive is clear. Let's move on. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come on now, tell us. We're all ears. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Ah! Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, it would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there, dead. He was definitely wearing his mask Twinkle Damask costume, wasn't he? I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. And it's so interesting how the detective's silhouette looks exactly like the silhouette you see in the flashback. He said that masked Twinkle Damask struck him on the head from behind. Of course, since Atme turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. No one's gonna believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked! Well, not afterwards, since Vari there borrowed it afterwards. Yeah, exactly. We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Trite? Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. Please don't throw hot coffee at me. Please do not do that. I got second-degree burns last time. These are all facial grabs. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. Mick Godot. Stripping a T-girl while she's unconscious is Atme a chaser? Well, clearly Atme didn't rip off the whole costume, just stole the mask and the hat. No, I guess this is Ron's backup costume. So yeah, Atme might be a chaser. And we don't clown with chasers here. Halamede can stay, but only because she's funny. Who is this suspicious shadow? If there were 1,000 of me, and even one knew, I'd tell you. Trust me. His dodging all of our questions is not helping us win his case. Okay, then how was the victim Mr. Bullard at that time? What do you mean by how was he? Was he already dead? Was he still alive? Maybe he was the one who hit you in the first place. That's a good question. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Forget it. Your forehead? Yes, I was hit on the forehead as soon as I entered the room. It was amazingly fast and powerful attack. Do you remember anything about who hit you? Well, like I said, it was a fast and powerful hit. So I think I was a little dazed for a while. I don't think Mr. Delight even grasped what you were asking. Yeah, I'd like to show him a fast and powerful attack myself. Phoenix, not now. Think of Edgeworth. Maybe that would knock some sense back into him. The stream has been buffering. The chat delay is pretty big now. Oh, son of a bitch. Are we doing internet difficulties again? I have a booster in the room. It's wavering. I'm still, like, pretty high, but it's not consistent. What the fuck is happening? It's much better than Wednesday, though. Yeah, I figured. Stop unplugging my controller. That? Could you please clarify what you're referring to? Why, my Mask Twinkle Damask costume, of course. Wait just a moment. Mask Twinkle Damask? Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Mask Twinkle Damask. You could straight up be getting throttled. Oh, maybe. It says I'm green now, so if it's still buffering, you should reset your stream. Or refresh it, rather. And then, I descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security. What? Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this. I mean, I figured it out as soon as he mentioned wearing that. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even I didn't know that. It seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait, that's not right. You know how sometimes things just slip your mind? My 6th cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. I'd have been killed if I hadn't been wearing my Mask Twinkle Damask costume. Why were you dressed up as Mask Twinkle Damask? Why, because I'm Mask Twinkle Damask, of course. What are you talking about? Mask Twinkle Damask's trial is being held next door. Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Mask Twinkle Damask issue. So I thought I should go as him, just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I'd expected. Took a lot longer? What is he talking about? What do you mean by took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body.
What was that? Back up a second.
Yes?
You were the one that hid the body in the safe?
Well, yeah.
Inconceivable! Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking?
I wish I was her so bad. Ron, my lady, what are you doing? I dream of being this stupid. Truly, what the fuck was she thinking? Ron! What the fuck? I knew about this already, like you mentioned it before, but what the fuck? I still don't understand why. Question. When does somebody toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What? The answer is simple. When they take them off. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying. Do you mean that Mr. DeLay hid the body because he's the murderer? Huh. So you're not as stupid as you look. His metaphor this time was really obscure. Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you? Well, yes. Whatever, double earring. Don't talk to me like that. Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness, make sure you add this to the testimony. Yes, sir. Oh, looks like a storm front is moving in over the fair-weather judge. I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes. You're triple earring, dumbass. I have there are 2 rings. Specifically, that he's ripping me off. He's ripping me off right now. The 2 rings. I have a sword, yes, but these are rings. Why did you hide the body in the safe anyway? Well, because it wouldn't fit in a drawer. That's not exactly what I meant. When I saw that corpse, I kind of lost it. I thought, if they find his corpse, they'll think I did it. I think you had a simpler reason than that. It's because you killed him. That's why you spent 10 minutes hiding the body. That certainly makes more sense. Hold on, 10 minutes? What is it, Nick? I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? And spend 10 whole minutes to do it? Under those circumstances? What circumstances? Oh. Hey, Nick, if you think his behavior was so strange, why don't you present some evidence that would show just what those circumstances were? That's it. I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence. We heard this from Mr. Delight yesterday, didn't we? There's not much in this testimony either. I bet you he's still hiding something. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll just have to draw it out of him. I just hope he doesn't make things any more complicated. Okay, something that would cause him to freak out. Oh, is it this? That would make me freak out. No, he doesn't care about that. Baby. Maybe the record's showing the alarm was triggered? I guess there was a buzzer. Yeah, there was the buzzer. But I don't know. I didn't remember what the buzzer was. I thought it was just from somebody entering the room, but maybe not. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? And what might this be? The record for the emergency buzzer. Okay. Because there was no fingerprints on it, I thought nobody had pressed it, but clearly someone with gloves on had pressed it. Yes. The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. They said it goes off for an hour. I mean, if nobody comes up and turns it off, I guess. If the button in the office is pressed, a security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 a.m. What? If Mr. Ron DeLite truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way. Ha! Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building. He was the head of security at one point. You stupid. Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them. I really don't like this cornered. It's really nothing. But as it turns out, the guard never came. Yes, because it was fucking Butts. It was Larry Butts, and nobody gives a shit about him. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser, who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend, I think it suits Godot. That's fair. And it wasn't anywhere in the vicinity is not something Mr. DeLite could have known. Huh. Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. DeLite didn't even notice the buzzer going off. How would you not notice? This buzzer is extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. I like his angry sprite. Yeah, where his mask is like electrocuting him. If he had been conscious, that is. Conscious? What do you mean by that? Ugh. Fine. Let's hear your theory. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. DeLite said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes. Unconscious? So he fainted? I mean, I feel like getting knocked unconscious and fainting are two different things, but whatever. That's why Mr. DeLite didn't know the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So what are you trying to say? Mr. DeLite was knocked out and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in the room. That's right. Whoever it was, they knocked out Ron DeLite and then pressed the buzzer. The dress she got me has pockets? Fuck yes. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is... This is preposterous. It was that kid. Ron DeLite is the one who killed Kane Bullard. Then who pressed the buzzer? It was... the victim, of course. Not possible. The buzzer doesn't have any fingerprints on it. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button. Ugh. Phoenix, there's no fingerprints on the buzzer. So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What's your opinion on this, Mr. Wright? I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene, but how? Do you have an autopsy report? I do, yeah. The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. We do have the autopsy report. Yeah, 1 a.m. exactly, instead of 1:02, which is when the buzzer sounded. I do like the drums. The drums there were nice. Well, what do you think, Mr. Godot? I can hear it. The sound of a buzzer. Huh? It's going off inside your head at this very moment. Hey, do you think the badge would go on your collar good? I mean, it would be hard to penetrate the leather with the pin on the back of the badge. Maybe it could go through one of the holes, I guess? The emergency buzzer of your heart. Is it really? Maybe just a little. Mr. Wright, you need to think more carefully. What the fuck? Ugh. Guess there goes your chance to become an ace detective. Come, listen more carefully. Maybe the truth will be elegantly revealed? She wants a lapel pin? Yes, I do. creepy. You sound like Detective Atme. Okay, so I'm gonna do the buzzer itself, because there's no fingerprints on it. Yeah, see, it was the buzzer. It wasn't the autopsy report. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence that you were looking for. The emergency buzzer? Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not. Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth. The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue. Now I'm the one who's clueless. I didn't tell you to present it, I was just wondering if you had one. Well, I was misled by your thing that you said that I misunderstood. I misled myself. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had recently pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind. Ron Delight obviously wiped them off. Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment. He touched that button, I know he did. The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Masked Twinkle Damask. And Masked Twinkle Damask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints? Order, order, order. It would seem. I've been forced to eat crow. I wonder what blend number crow-flavored coffee is. However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Well, if he knocked out Ron and left her there, then presumably they would suspect Ron. Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? It looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks. They're on to you, Nick! Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond. Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well, then. You've got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? To call the security guard. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes. Although, as it turned out, he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time. What a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in? No, what are you, stupid? No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer. It was Wendy Oldbag, who was pretending to be on vacation. Hypothetically, yes. Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight. And if any security guards came running in at the time, they would think I was the murderer! Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. Also, real, keep her out of future games. Truly, get her out of here. To frame Ron Delight for the murder, 2 games is more than enough for Wendy Oldbag. We don't need more than that. Order, order, order. It would seem. I've been made to eat my words once again. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. Mr. Wright! Who was it? Who is it that tried to frame me? Wait. Wait a second. I'm the one and only Masked Twinkle Damask, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... We're gonna drag that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB's security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard. Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight for the murder of Kane Bullard? It's the guy in the silhouette! Luke Atme! The one who was sending him the blackmail all this time. Detective Luke Atme. He's the only one who could have done it. Ace Detective. Luke Atme? You mean Masked Twinkle Damask did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Masked Twinkle Damask at all. He simply posed as him. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bullard. You all saw the weird silhouette in the pictures that Ron was projecting from her brain. You all saw it. Phoenix, why do you keep using she, her pronouns for me? Don't worry about it, Ron. Desi will talk to you about it later. Order, order. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder. Which is the more serious crime? They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to capital punishment. We just shoot you in the head straight in the courtroom. We just don't show it in the game because it'd be too brutal for our E rating. Please remember the trial from yesterday if you would.